Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
For live.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
This live.
Are you
talk.
ready?
Live
Are you
talk.
ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Live talk.
For the word of the day, the knowledge and the wisdom will increase your faith. Are you ready for live talk?
Yeah.
Because it's about time to set it on. Are you ready?
Let's go.
For the word of the day, the knowledge and the wisdom will increase your faith. Are you ready for live talk?
Yeah.
Because it's about time to set it off.
Live talk. This live talk. Live talk. Living in vital energy. The universal language spirituality. Living in vital energy. The universal language spirituality. We're going all the way live with it. With live talk, increase your mentality, put away carnality, and increase your spirituality. Let's go. Live talk.
Are you ready?
This live talk.
Are you ready?
Live talk.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Live talk.
For the word of the day, the knowledge and the wisdom will increase your faith. Are you ready for live talk? Because it's about time to set it off. All right, greetings, shalom, and welcome to Live Talk. I am your host, Arthur Jeremiah, alongside my co-host, the minister, Samuel.
Welcome again to Live Talk.
All right. Another week, another show, more powerful information that we'll be putting out today. Again, we'll be here live with Shane Shepherd, our dear brother that came into the city, bringing a lot of information, knowledge, and a lot of upliftment. So we're very happy
Yes.
and proud to be able to have this brother with us. And before we get started, we always want to put out a little disclaimer. All right. So this is our general statement. Live Talk is brought to you by TBS Goodwill and Builders of the Highway Foundation. We ask that you verify or contact your personal or business consultant about any information that is shared on this show. Laws are different from state to state, and state and local laws change often. Do not lean solely on the information that you hear on this show. However, there are professionals on this show that can consult with you, but through the right channels. If you have questions or concerns, you can always email us at livetalkorl@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Facebook and Instagram at Live Talk Orlando. All right, my brother, season 2, episode 5.
Well, today we're going live with Brother Shane Shepherd.
Indeed.
Who's the author of the powerful book, Truth and Change. And last week last show was Change. Today we go do just a little bit on truth.
Okay, and before we go there, let me give you just a rundown of the show, and we're going to go right into that. So first we'll have like a word of the day. We'll have something from the minister. He's going to share some with us. Right after that, we'll go to a short commercial break, and then we'll have our main topic where we talk with Brother Shane Shepherd, community leader, mentor, and author. And we'll go to another break, commercial break, and then we're going to come back with world news. We're going to talk about Women's History Month a little bit. So we'll be remiss not to talk about it.
Yes, we must.
And then we'll end with a motivational quote or reading from the host. So with no further ado, Minister, what you want to talk about today?
We're going to talk about truth from a perspective. And it's a quote and a thought that you might have heard people say things like, I'm a true believer. But sometimes when we're dealing with truth, because the book is called Truth and Change.
Right.
Sometimes we may need to change our thinking to be in accordance with what is true. Because I've often heard people say that, and you probably heard people say that a lot. I'm a true believer. And then you can take that, and that can be a positive thing. However, if you really break that down, let's give you a little bit of context, being a true believer. You can be a true believer, or do you want to be a believer in the truth? Because truth itself means dealing with facts and reality.
Right.
So truth has to be based in fact and reality. However, in the climate that we're in today, in this society, in this world, you can be a true believer. There are many true believers, but what they're believing is not based in facts and it's not based in reality. So you can find yourself going down the wrong path and being a true believer on falsehood. We talking about believing in the truth.
Hey, and when you what you're saying, like truth is a verifiable fact. You know, that's the definition of truth.
Yes.
It's almost like saying it's raining outside, but you and I sitting in here, we don't know if it's raining.
Exactly.
We can believe the person that says it's raining outside until we actually go outside and see, oh, it's actually raining. That becomes a fact then.
Right.
Otherwise, it's just an opinion, or it's maybe an illusion of the fact of the truth. When we talk about truth, and you brought up a great point, because we can be committed to something that's based off of falsehood, and we can be a true believer of it, but it doesn't mean it's the truth.
You walk outside.
Right. And another definition, truth is said conformity to reality or actuality. So we have to be mindful of what's real.
Yes.
So truth is another synonym to that would be real, and it's amazing how the author who we're going to be speaking with today, how he brought forth in the first interview, the truth about him, his situation, and how, what he been through resonates or validates him to write the book, Truth and Change.
Yes.
Because he talked about his truth in his book.
A real truth.
Right.
Not a perceived truth. Not a truth that you may have heard someone talk about, but an actual truth that was lived, experienced, and now talking about that truth.
Right. And that's a powerful thing, because we always want people around us, and we talked about it, we're going to get into it a little later, is Women History Month. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of sisters that, bring forth the truth and share the truth. We have brothers that bring forth the truth. Our sisters are powerful, man.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about that. Get into that. They are powerful, and I like a sister to sit back and just expound on something, man. It's just the beauty of that when you hear that. Well, we're going to get into that and much more, but it's season 2, episode 5, my brother. And according to numerology, the number 5 symbolizes freedom, curiosity, and change. Ain't that a coincidence?
Right in line.
So we're going to get right into that, everyone. We'll go to a quick commercial break, and we will be right back. Hey, shalom and blessing, y'all. This is Author Jeremiah Israel coming to you live. Listen, I'm so excited because my ebook version of The Spiritual Significance of a Name is now available. You can go to my website today at www.jeremiahisrael.com. Now, this ebook is pretty much available anywhere and everywhere that ebook is sold. I'm so excited about that because, see, ebooks are sold internationally, but I would like for you to go to my website at www.jeremiahisrael.com, pick up your copy, or you can go ahead and download the ebook version of it. Whether you're on a plane, whether you're traveling, whatever you're doing, pick up this copy. It's only $4.99. It's not going to break your pockets and not going, break the bank. So go ahead and get the copy of this ebook now, today, $4.99. Go to jeremiahisrael.com and truly become blessed, because it will truly put you on a path to defining your true purpose. Until next time, peace and prosperity.
Hi, this is Michael Eric Dyson. I'm talking to you today about the great Shane Shepherd, a man who can bring young people together, a man who can bring creative insight into the predicaments and traumas and hurts and pains that young black males have endured. Through his perilous pilgrimage from the pitfalls of society, from the depths and the dregs of humanity up to the heights, this man overcoming incredible odds to help young black men succeed. Before You Fall is a great organization, a great program, a great and insightful way to stem the tide of, devastation that young black males confront. That's why his book, Truth and Change, is so important. Know the truth and then change because of that. Gain insight and then transform your lives as a result of that. Who is the man that can do all of this? Shane Shepherd. Who is the man who can speak brilliantly to the predicament of young black males in America? Shane Shepherd. That's why I, Michael Eric Dyson, offer my stamp of approval as a black male in America to celebrate the ingenuity, the creativity, the persistence, the diligence, the industry, but most especially the compassion and knowledge of Shane Shepherd for black males across this country. My brother, keep doing a great work. Love you so much.
All right, welcome back to Live Talk. We have live with us. And again, we are live here with our dear brother, community leader, mentor, author, you name it, live in the studio, Shane Shepherd. Hey, we got the brother. We got to give you we got to take our hats off to you, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the warm welcome.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you. I appreciate it for sure.
And that was amazing. You had Michael Eric Dyson give you the stamp of approval. How does that feel, brother?
I've listened to it probably more than anybody because I shared it on a social media platform and then I made it kind of private. So I never promoted it or nothing because I use it as my motivation sometimes.
Gotcha.
Obviously, just stamp what I already know about self, but sometimes when you forget. So when you go to one of the great ones and you see that he seen enough in you to say those things, man.
Right.
Beautiful thing, man.
No, and just to go ahead, brother.
I was gonna say because you had to sit there and listen and say, "Wow, who's this brother talking about?"
Right?
Oh, we talking about me.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely, absolutely. That is exactly what I go through. And again, I told my wife just last night because again, I go back and forth with the brother. Sometimes he's very busy, and I'll fall through the gap some days, and I'll be like, "Boy, I'm waiting on him to call," and then I say, "Man, remember, he a man, you a man." You know what I mean? So that stamp is very, very important, but he had to see what God put in here. I remind myself, I catch myself going to that to remind me, but hey, sometimes remember, that's just another human being, although a great one. You got to get the confidence within self to know that what he see is real. It's not, he didn't fake up on that stamp of approval.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just like me meeting you brothers. Over time, you'll say, man, listen, I can genuinely say, like, he ain't reading off no script. That brother know what he know, or he demonstrating what he know. You know what I mean? So, yes, sir.
And for those that may not know who Michael Eric Dyson is, I know him from being on different platforms, like news platforms, speaking about Black history, the Black community. He a philosopher. The brother graduated from Princeton University. He well known.
Hey, listen, if you listen to the way that he sees our plight, you can tell it's from a personal perspective.
Right.
I end up living in the city he's from for a couple months, about 6 months in Detroit. And then when I followed up with him, I said, bro, I can see why it would be painful for you to remain there and try to help people who just obviously some of them have just given up, you know what I mean? But just the brother's really a really good brother, really deep. And when you hear him on these platforms, his position is unapologetic. Yeah. And I told him one day on the phone, I say, hey, I don't agree with everything you say, but I ain't never heard nothing that I can just adamantly say I totally disagree with. Right. You know what I mean? Right. So great brother.
Yeah. And again, Shane Shepherd, this is his book, Truth and Change. We talked a lot about it initially on our last show. He kind of went more into talking about his truth and his background and what validated him to even write about this here, understanding the plight in our community, dealing with our young men, which is one of his biggest commitments to our community. He called himself the voice of
my generation.
Our generation.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. So that's something that, you know, we don't find many doing, and doing it in a way that he's not fearful. Kind of go right at it, brother. Understanding where you've been and your background and everything like that. And I know we went through the first part of your book, and I want to kind of go into chapters, you know, because a part of one of the chapters that interested me when you talk about the mind, and that's where we're probably going to kind of open up today, because we have so many youth, like you're saying, you committed to that, and just understanding where they are mentally, and maybe, you know, just the insight on what you feel or your opinion to why they're in that particular condition, and maybe what could happen or what could be done to help, you know, with our youth in this day in society. You know, so I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want to give you too much. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about the mind. In fact, we have, and like I said, that chapter 2, I believe it is. Let's talk a little bit about the mind, the mindset.
Well, that's why I set that foundation. And if you look at the chapter, I think preceding that, or even early in that chapter, I give some definitions so you can understand what I'm talking about if you've never heard the concepts, conscious mind, subconscious mind, things like that, so we can separate those things. But to answer the question about the condition and the mind state of the young men, they're operating from a place that's all they know. And so I honestly, if you ask your son after he do something, or a young man after he do something, the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen, he gonna say, why you do that? I don't know. And he means that.
Yes.
See, I used to get offended when my son say that, but he means that. You know why he don't know? Because in that split second between thought and action, it was no conscious thought. It was all subconscious reaction, trained programming, auto reaction to certain situations. You know what you expected to do, so you do it. And then once you sober up or you come down off of that emotional roller coaster and somebody say, man, what made you go back and shoot all them people because he stepped on your shoes, man? Right. Man, I don't even know. And that's reality. And so now I want to get people past that so you can at least know. See, it still ain't going to excuse it. But if you know how to take a split second in a nanosecond, this happens quick. Right. It's not like I'm going to go sit and think, am I going to go kill some people? No. You gonna process that now on the fly. Right. And that's what I try to teach them. You need to be processing best case scenario, worst case scenario, cause, effect, aftermath. This needs to be your automatic thought process with anything that you do. And when that happens, you would never say, I don't know. Even when I go through rough stuff, if like me right now, I got this big old stomach on the front of me. You ask me, brother, you done gained some weight. I bet I say, I don't know why. I know why. I've been eating and laying and watching, you know what I mean? Everything has a cause and effect. And when you get to those two things and you link them, your subconscious and your conscious, so therefore you can get a moment of truth in there. Because the reality is you don't want to go to jail for the rest of your life and be stripped of your dignity. And 3 years after that, when you done realize, man, I was tripping, you still got 60 more to go. You know what I mean? That is the most miserable. The part about understanding how your mind works is then you can gain a measure of control, which we'll go into, I'm sure.
Yes, we will.
But that's where that's where the young men are at. They have been stripped away of their ability to learn by sight. They only get to, because they don't see us no more. Real black men, real fathers, real uncles. When I say real, I mean ones who put their family first. And when you put your family first, you don't sell dope. You don't rob, because if you take me away from my family, they're not first. So I want to take that away from these street dudes, because I was obviously one. If you tell me, man, I'm just doing it to take care of my family. No, you're not, because it doesn't require that much money to take care of your family at all. You're doing that because of your ego and what you've been trained and conditioned to do. And if I can show you, I used to tell dudes in my community, I can retire you from the streets for $5,000. Not you pay me, you come up with it. I'll show you how to quit being in the streets. And I was just hoping some of them, because we gonna either go get you a tow truck, we gonna figure out something, but let me lure you with that. That was 5,000. You don't have 5,000 if you can get out of them streets. Because I was showing them this is what I'm doing. I'm out the streets, so it only took me 5,000 publishing company. You know, stuff that you can honestly go out and get enough equipment to get out the ground.
So tangible,
but real. They have never stopped to think, because they're still operating by what they big homie did or what they uncle did, and that looked good to them because Unc was that guy. When Unc come over, mom get happy. That's Unc's mom, bro, and she talked the world of Unc, but Unc in the penitentiary for 60. So Unc's still my hero, but pew pew pew. Right. And when I only seen Unc's path, guess where I'm headed?
Same way.